This program that I'm going to show you here, it will list the files in a directory that will be given by the user, that is me, and I'll be asked to type in the directory name from which I want to display all of my files present in that directory. And if the name that will be entered by me, if it's not a directory, then some message will be printed, one error message, and the program will end up there. Okay, so there are some of the some of the methods that we should be knowing about that is specifically meant for the directory functionality. So one directory name to be entered by the user, that is a string type. Then the file object name is directory referring to the specific directory. Then the array of the file names in the directory, that is again string array type. So in a directory, let's say, okay, suppose in the documents lib, okay, I have, or inside this, I have this many folders. So let's say the bin folder inside this path, it has this many files in it. So when I specify this path into the console here, it should display all the file names that is being present inside that directory. And that should, all of their names that should be referred as a string array type. So that's why we are taking the string array type file names in the directory. For reading the line of input from user, you are creating the scanner object of scanner class. Let me just show you, yeah, the file import and the scanner input. Your java.util.scanner import statements are only imported. Now next scanner is created that will read a standard input from the user, that is me. Then to enter the directory name, this is a message. Then next we are supposed to read the string, the directory name. So how it's supposed to be read? So let's say the name that you are providing from the console, you need that name of the directory path name should be exact. So that's why we are using a trim method that will return a string whose value is a string with all leading and trailing space removed. So it will take the directory name that I specify in the console in a proper format. Let me run the code and suppose in desktop. Let me try if it's taking that. No, I don't take that. Okay, let's say lib java xstk bin. I'm just copying the path and pasting it here. And then let's say if it's showing all the file names present in that or not. Yeah, it's showing all the names. So this is how the program is going to work. Now move on to the important part of here, how it is taking that input. So to take or enter the path of the directory, the name of the directory, this is how it should be taken. So that's why we are using the trim method. Now the directory file is created along with the directory name that we just fetched right now. And then it creates the file instance, converting the given path name into a string. And then we have to check if the file object that we created directory, it refers to a active directory or not. So in order to do that, we are using isDirectory function. So if it's false, so it does not refer to a active directory, then what we are supposed to do, we are again to check that if the file named by the file object actually exists or not. If it doesn't exist, then it should display this message, there is no such directory. And if still it displays yes, then that will display that this file is not a directory. So this is about the error that we want to display in case you don't have an active directory from which you want to fetch the files. But in the else part, if this is true, if the file refers to a directory, then what it should do, it in the files that you have created as a string array, that should be able to fetch all the list of the files. So if the file object refers to the directory, then this function will list and or return an array of type string, um, array containing the names of file in that directory. So it will list everything out. Now, as we have everything in an array, string array files, then we are supposed to print everything in a proper way in output. So to do that, one by one, up to the files dot length, up to the end of, let's say there are 10 number of files. So the file loop will go on from 0 up to the 10, that is the length of the string array files, and it will display all the files along when we are supposed to enter the index through the for loop of the files, and it will display all the files one by one through the for loop. This is how the searching of a directory works.